Arknights Endfield is a new action role-playing gacha factory game that has been out for about 3 weeks now. I've been playing it since launch, and here's my honest review about the game. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video. I'm trying to build a small community around games that I genuinely enjoy, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, feel free to stick around. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing that I want to talk about is the visual and graphics of the game. Unlike the original Arknights that used 2D as the style of the game, Enfield fully transitioned the whole game into a massive 3D space. It runs on a Unity engine, similar to other popular gacha titles like Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero. However, Enfield doesn't use an ordinary Unity engine. Hypergrip, which is the developer, has pushed the engine to its absolute limits. That's why the environments of the game feel detailed and atmospheric, almost like something you'd expect from Unreal Engine, while still maintaining smooth performance. Just from the graphic alone, you can see different shadows on some area, different textures, effects, and many more. Even though this game doesn't have a day-night cycle, it still looks incredible on every region and every area. For now, the game only have two major regions, which is Valley 4 and Wuling, and my most favorite region is definitely Wuling. The lighting, architecture, and environmental details make it feel natural and immersive, not just pretty. It is the kind of region that makes you want to walk, look around, and maybe even take pictures here and there. The materials and clothes of the characters also look textured and polished, especially in this region. You can see it clearly when it interacts with wet area. Raindrops on the stocking, purse, armament, belt, and everything else just feels absolutely gorgeous and detailed. Lots of details on the clothes, accessories, the hair and facial expression also make the game feels more alive. The character idle animation also looks good, some even cute and expressive. Their combat style also different for each operators or characters. Each of them wield different weapons like polearm, sword, greatsword, arch unit, and hand cannon. The combat animation in Enfield looks smooth, so not just the idle animation, but the combat as well. Just from the visual and the graphics alone, I would give it 9 out of 10. Next, let's talk about combat and gameplay. First off, the combat. The combat feels a lot more relaxing because there's no such thing as different input combo. Unlike in Wuthering Waves, for example, where you need to click the attack button repeatedly to do certain combo, or even hold down the attack button to do heavy attack. In Arknights Endfield, you can relax your fingers down now. Just tap or click on the attack button and the character will do the attack pattern themselves. Then, the most fun combat system for me would be the character combo. At certain point, some of your characters have this flashing pop-up that indicate the character can do some combo. Pressing it triggers a coordinated attack from that operator to the opponent. And I know that other gacha games got this kind of thing, but your whole party doesn't fight for you. You control the main party character and switch off one by one. Meanwhile, in Enfield, the whole party is on the field, fighting side by side with you. The only thing that I need to get used to is using the ultimate. It feels weird for me to long press the skill button to unleash the ultimate. Sometimes I even accidentally release my character's ultimate skill instead of just using the basic skill. While the combat for me feels more relaxing, it can also a bit too boring, especially if you prefer more input-heavy action games. Most of the fights you do probably feels repetitive after a few hours of playing. You do the same combo moves to the opponent, do the same skill, and ultimate rotation. Rinse and repeat. That's why Enfield offer other type of thing to do, which is the other gameplay element. The factory. The core gameplay of this game isn't heavily based on combat only, but you have factory building. I can't really say a lot about the factory building, but for me, it's addicting. I never played Factorio or Satisfactory before, but I do watch other people play those games. I never tried it, Enfield factory element is the first factory related thing that I play. It makes my brain want to do a lot in my factory. Makes me want to optimize the production line to be more improved and efficient. And maybe just do some silly stuff. The factory building isn't really that hard, though most people are overwhelmed with the tutorials because it is too much. And most of them are mandatory tutorials that can't be skipped. But if you are new to the factory, it is important to understand the basics of building your own factory because the factory must grow. But if you don't want to spend your brain cells or time to think of building factory, the game lets you have a blueprint. And there are tons of websites and community out there that can help you build your factory by providing blueprints. There's also market stuff. Like, look at this. The game teaches you about stock market, like when to buy and when to sell, and how's the market going, how's the graph going. Those other people have better market than them. Like, the game teaches you about this. You can get each region money, aka stock bills, to buy stuff for you to grind on characters, buy some weapon, or even buy more for your stock market to gain more profit. Other thing that the game offer is you being a delivery person. Like, who knew you could get a multiple job in a game like this? You are the CEO of your own company that owns a factory. You work as a person that checks and contribute to the stock market. You are fighting the bad guys and saving the world. Then you have this, delivering a package thingy. Incredible. The combat and gameplay, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10. Now, we go into the story and world building. For the story, me personally not a lore heavy player. I don't really dig deep into the story, but I do know what happens on the surface. But here's what I understand. The game takes place on Talos 2, which is a frontier planet being developed by us, the Enfield Industries. And we play as administrator, or we call it admin, that's awakened from a ship called OMV Dijiang. And our goals as an admin is to stabilize the operation on the planet and deal with the threat around Talos 2. We arrive on Valley 4 first, conflicts happen, we fix it, the conflict happens again, we fix it again, then we go back to the big ship, do some meeting with people, one of the region asks for help, we arrive on Wuling, stuff happens again, and we save the day like the usual MC. But I don't know anything about that yet. The game only stopped on the first conflict of Wuling. And yeah, this is just the beginning. Remember, this is a gacha game with a live service, so there will be constant update every now and then. That is literally the thing I understand so far. Though I'm pretty sure there are more things going on about the lore and story, but for now I can't say much about it. But it feels well written and I still feel some flavors and color, or I would rather say complete and well done when completing the story so far. But what about the world building? The world building is majestic. The environmental storytelling that match the lore and the region. The technology level, the city, the town, outposts, and even the factions are well designed in my opinion. Everything seems in place, coordinated, and perfectly aligned with everything else. Probably for now, it only lack of new area since I've been exploring most of the current version area for like a while now. I need more Wuling area. It's pretty. So, for the story and world building, I would say 8 out of 10. Next, I'll talk about the characters and progression in this game, including the gacha system. How's the characters on this game? There are currently 6 roles for the characters: Guard, Caster, Striker, Vanguard, Defender, and lastly, Supporter. Now, let me explain about these roles quickly. Guard are the type of roles that apply debuff on the opponent. Caster are the one that apply debuff as well, but elemental debuff. Then there's Striker. This role is important because it's the DPS or the damage dealer in your team. Next, there's Vanguard, the character that fills up your skill point, which is the bar on top of your HP to do skills on your operator. Then Defender. Well, as the role said, as a defender, skill in protection and counter attack or something. And the last one is Supporter. To make it a lot more easier, let's just call it Healer. Each character's also got their main attributes, which are strength, agility, intellect, and lastly, will. And each of its attributes gives some extra stats to your operator. Now that's the character. What about the progression? Progression in this game is a little bit grindy on characters, ability, weapon, and gear. It requires different materials to level up characters from like level 1 to 60 and 60 to 90. Or basically you need to grind two materials to max out your character. This is also same goes to the weapon. The progression on the ability might be fine for me since I usually farm a lot on other gacha title as well on ability. But the nice part comes on gear. Let's say on Zenless Zone Zero for example. The way the equipment work in that game is basically you have to grind on that stage to collect the perfect or at least the suitable stats for the character that you need to build. However, in Arknights Endfield, all of the key stats are fixed, so you just have to pick the suitable stat for your character. And to make one of these gear, you just need the materials from your factory that you made and also Region's stock build. Pretty easy, right? But not just that. You can use more gear to upgrade your equipped gear as well. And here's the part where you have to gacha. Whether you get your gear upgraded or you just wasted one of your gear. And don't worry, there's a guarantee amount you will get it upgraded. There's the same thing on weapon. You can add this ball thingy called Essence, where it adds more stats based on your weapon. On this part, you will also grind a lot to find suitable 3 stats for your weapon. And to upgrade this Essence, you also need more Essence. And of course, there will be more gacha as well if you want to upgrade your Essence. So yeah, more grindy I guess. Next one, let's talk about the real gacha system in this game. Or the character banner system. Well, from my understanding, the gacha system for the character here is a bit different than other title. Let me explain. Alright, so let's say there's basic character gacha and then there's a special character gacha. On basic character gacha, it works the same like other gacha games. Like when you do 30 pull on the banner, it stays 30 pull or until you get 6 stars. And if you do get 6 stars, it resets to 0. But for special character gacha, each banner face reset your amount of pulls. For example, on Gilberta Limited banner, you do 40 pulls and you don't get hurt at all. You're trying to save up for more, but the banner time is up, making the limited banner change to Yvonne, and on Yvonne's banner, you do 10 pull. That doesn't make you have 50 pulls now, because it reset to 0. So, what does this mean? Well, this means the PT or your total pulls doesn't carry over to the next banner, which makes most players don't like the gacha system. But me personally, not a problem. I only pull for the character that I like Leviathan for example. Wife. For characters, progression and gacha system, would get 7 out of 10 for me. Next, I'll speed things up. UI looks great and modern. It's different than the usual gacha games. I really like the watch design and the map actually show your current location. And it just feels fresh for me. Then there's the OST or soundtrack. It's banger. Just listen to the login screen song for a bit with me.
Arknights.
just epic. Lastly, let's talk about the pros and cons. Well, this is just my opinion, so don't take this very seriously. For me personally, the pros are great visual and graphic, good character design, banger OST, epic story and world building, and factory building just feels great. The cons would be the game might be repetitive for some people, too much tutorials for now. The gacha system is kind of stingy, and yeah, I guess that's it for the cons for me. So, from all of this review, I would give the whole game a solid 9.1 out of 10. And it's okay if you don't agree with me. This is just my perspective view of the game. Alright? That's settled? Good. Well, folks, that's everything of how I feel about Arknights Endfield. What do you think about the game so far? Let me know down in the comment section. I'll see you guys on another video. Bye bye.